My name is Andrés Cárdenes, and I am from Havana, Cuba. I came here when I was about 18 months old. I don't really have any recollection of Cuba when I was that little, but I certainly have many remnants of Cuba because growing up with my Cuban parents, we spoke Spanish in the home and we ate Cuban food, and there was a lot of Cuban culture in our family all the time. So I was still very connected to being Cuban even though I wasn't actually living there. I used to say I'm a violinist, but I'm actually a musician. And I say that because I have many different factors in my musical career. So I'm a violin player, I'm also a conductor, I also play the viola, I play chamber music, I record, I was a concertmaster of a major orchestra here in Pittsburgh. I have traveled all over the world and played my instrument and conducted all over the world, so I'm just basically a musician. The influence of my heritage on my career is very significant because there was some considerable amount of anger in me. The anger was being an immigrant and being undervalued and being underestimated all the time. And I felt like it was an uphill battle to constantly prove to people that I belonged in that upper echelon with all the people who had a tradition of classical music in the background. And one very good example was a woman. When I was 15 years old, I was in a competition, and she came up to me and she asked me, "Where are you from anyway?" And I said, "Well, I was born in Cuba." And her answer was, "Who ever heard of a Cuban violinist?" And that, I never forgot it. I'm still remembering it today. And I said, "You haven't? Well, someday you will." And I just thought, I'm carrying, in many ways, the hopes and dreams of so many people that don't have the opportunity, that have the talent, and certainly have the intelligence for it. But I felt like I had to carry my Latin American roots with me everywhere. And I had to try to prove to people that, don't underestimate us. We work hard. When we want to do something, we'll get it done. My suggestion to young people, when they play, I always tell them, look, concentrate on your own thing. You have your own personality, you have your own thoughts, you have your own psyche. You have your own habits, you have your own integrity, and you have your own background, you have your own heritage. Everything and everyone is different. You all have different paths to success. If you worry about what everybody else is doing, there is no path. You're trying to take a path, it's like wearing somebody else's clothes. You can't be trying to take somebody else's path. Just forge your own and stay with it. For all the losses that I endured in my life, for all the failures that I endured, this is what made me make it to this point. It's not from the successes, it's from the failures. Not winning competitions, not winning a scholarship, not getting this, not getting the other thing, not getting, the attention or the approval of certain people. Thank you for this, because it fueled my passion for getting better. And my parents always told me, the failure is a catalyst. Just keep working. Don't let it deter you. Just keep on that path and just be relentless and tenacious. I am so grateful for the failures. Not at the time, I hated them. But now I look back and I am very grateful for them. There's nothing more fun for me than to call my dad and say, "Hey viejo, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm having lunch." I said, "What are you having for lunch?" He said, "A big Cuban cigar and a double espresso." And then of course, from there, we were just laughing and having a great conversation because, of course, I think it's hilarious that that's his lunch, and he thinks it's funny that I think it's funny. And so, we spent a half an hour there laughing and telling jokes, and we have a very lighthearted and very close, loving relationship. The United States is so unique because we have such a diverse population. In some people's minds, this is a bad thing. In my mind, there couldn't be anything better. It diversifies our thinking. It broadens our thinking. It broadens our cultural acknowledgments of other people. It broadens our ability to connect. It broadens our ability to interpret music, to interpret art. The whole idea of diversity is that it creates a society that, with the word social, is included in the word society. It's a contract. It's a contract with your fellow man. If we live in a society, everyone deserves to have and equal opportunity. That's what makes us all successful. When people come from abroad, or immigrants, or be it refugees, or whatever, they come to America, I promise, and I'm sure of this, 99% of these people are coming to do something positive for our country. They're grateful to be here. They're coming to add something to our country. Myself, I'm so thrilled that this opportunity happened to me. I would never be where I am today. I'm sure if I had stayed in Cuba, I would never be the violinist, conductor, musician with the kind of profile that I have. I would never have been able to do this because it just didn't exist in Cuba. There was no infrastructure for such a thing. But here, I had teachers from the former Soviet Union. I had teachers from Russia. I had teachers from Poland. I had teachers from Italy. These people all came here to contribute something. They contributed their art. They contributed their heritage, their traditions, their style of playing. They diversified the way we thought about music. And why should we just think this way about music? Music is a universal language. Everybody should have the opportunity to be exposed to it. And it's true in every aspect of what we do in life. The more you know about other people, the more you understand other cultures, the more growth you have, the more varied you are, the more humanity you possess. I can never get enough growth from meeting other people and learning about other people and their backgrounds. And that's one thing I love about Pittsburgh. I just love being here for that reason. El consejo que le daría a los inmigrantes que vienen aquí a Pittsburgh es, primero que nada, que se vayan involucrando en una manera positiva en la ciudad y que vengan una actitud que van a añadir algo a la ciudad. Me gustan mucho estos médicos que vienen a contribuir su tiempo en ayudar a los niños. Tenemos organizaciones que también ayudan y hace que una ciudad de verdad muy placentero. Por supuesto, el invierno es un poquito menos placentero, pero el resto del año es bastante bueno. Así que yo diría bienvenidos a Pittsburgh y que disfruten. My goal in life as a musician is to share my music, to try to connect with people, to try to bring joy to people, to try to use music as understanding with people. I've given numerous benefit concerts all over the world for UNICEF, for the Red Cross of Mexico. The humanity of music is something that's endless. There's no cap on it. And so for me, the future is just to keep trying to share and try to bring people together as much as possible. We have to be a society, and we have to have a contract with one another to help one another and to support one another and be good to one another. And for God's sake, just be respectful. Respectful of one another. And that's where we're not. We're not there. And that's what we have to do.